Hello, 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 hello. You're welcome to Sports Ultras right here on 3FM 92.7. My name is Yao Fusulabi and I'm going to take you on this ride from now up until 7:30 p.m. So it's another weekend of packed action from the English Premier League to the Ghana Premier League. Kumasi Asante Kotoko. The form is not good. Accra Hearts of Oak, the form is not good. We'll be getting into that. We'll also be getting into some Black Stars news because you know that this month the Black Stars are back in contention. They are playing the World Cup qualifiers. Madagascar, Comoros, waiting for the Black Stars. And then we'll talk about the state of our national stadiums. And there's news really that Ghana might play the World Cup qualifiers away from Ghana, which would be a huge blow to the country. Accra Sports Stadium, Kumasi Sports Stadium, that's the Barbara Stadium, and then the Cape Coast Stadium, all not in good shape, apparently, to host an international game. We'll be getting into that as well. And then some Africa Football League news. We'll be getting into that also. But topically, we'll be getting into the Black Stars and also the English Premier League. And the English Premier League has given us some really, really good results. We'll be getting into that as well. That is all the way around 7 p.m. Oh, why is it at 7 p.m.? I need to shift the Premier League conversation, close, because 7 p.m. is too far. I would have lost my steam by then. But we'll get into all of that. If you're listening, thank you for listening, and thank you for tuning in always to 3FM 92.7 to listening to Sports Ultras right here on the channel. But don't forget that on Facebook as well, we are there at 3 Sports GH. Check us out, and you can also stream. You see us on video, all of us looking really nice. Aniela with some blonde hair today. You see her also on the Facebook Live. If you join 3FM 92.7, 3 Sports GH, you can join the feed from there and watch. All our listeners from across the world, we are back again with another exciting show. Okay. So it's now time to introduce my panelists in the studio. Today, Aniela Alote is here, Ore Kwampofo is here, and Bileshen is also here. Gentlemen, lady, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Good evening, Yao.
How are you feeling?
I don't feel too good. I would have started with, trusses, but now...
Godin.
I'm now Alpha Blondie.
and if you're wondering why Aniela is talking about Alpha Blondie, it's because she's in blonde hair. So just check her out on Facebook and how she's looking at the moment. Orico, how are you feeling?
Oh, I'm in a good mood.
He's a Rasta man. He's a Rasta man. He's not good.
I'm celebrating Abedi Pele's birthday. That's why I'm wearing this nice kits from their time. So
happy birthday to the maestro, maestro of Ghanaian football. Happy birthday to him.
Yeah.
And also to Bill. How are you feeling?
Raya, fraud. Raya, what a fraud.
We told you here.
Fraud.
We told you here.
My Ramsdale too no good. So right now, what's up?
Ramsdale,
it's okay to hate Ramsdale, but Raya will show you why he doesn't deserve it.
Oh, we will use Ramsdale.
That's the thing.
That goal was not a goal. Yeah, it was not a goal. We all know it's not a goal.
I mean, so just before we got into the studio, just about an hour or so before we got into the studio, Arsenal released a statement expressing their displeasure over the goal that was given to Newcastle United yesterday. But I'm just wondering, because to be very honest with you, I don't think I've seen a goal that good in my life. It's a really, really good goal. And it's a goal that should stand every day of the week. It's a really, really good goal. And thank you to the PGMOL for such an important decision in our lives, which is really, really great. Thank you so much, Howard Webb and the other referees who are part, Dermot Gallagher and all of those. Thank you so much for awarding this great goal. I mean, it's great. It's great.
The ball was out of play. It's not fair.
It was in play. It was in play.
It was not in play.
It was in play. The referee says there's new technology which shows that some of the ball, so maybe the ball's shadow was in play. How do you know? How do you know if the ball's shadow was in play? And it was taken, which is a really great opportunity for us to celebrate. Now, yesterday also, so you know the thing about the Arsenal goal is that Gabriel could have cleared. He didn't clear. Raya could have
punched.
He didn't do that. So all of that culminated to what happened. And that's you can see it on the Facebook live. You can see the Joe Willock, former Arsenal player, great performance. Got the ball from there.
You never said anything good about Joe Willock.
And then he crossed the ball into the danger area. Ryan missed it. Joelinton just touched Gabriel a little.
Just touched
him. Come on. He just touched him a little. And Gabriel fell over, and Anthony Gordon. Nice goal. Really good goal. Thank you so much. Again, PGMOL for your contributions to football this weekend.
Charlie, so they can look at this and tell me the boy didn't go out to play.
It happened against Brighton. It happened when Marcus Rashford did the same thing. We didn't complain. It happens. Your coach says we should support referees. Charlie. That's what your coach said. He said we should support referees.
I remember.
Yeah, so can we just support the referees to do the right thing next time instead of vilifying them? It's on your screen now. October 6th, Mikel Arteta said they are trying to make the best decisions. We need to understand that mistakes happen. This is a mistake.
This is
a mistake.
The thing is, usually you don't attack people when you are not directly affected. Yesterday, he was directly affected. But the nonsense they call referee.
Yeah, Prosper, put that picture on the screen. So my producer says he has a picture that shows that the ball is in play, which is a really good picture to see at the moment. So
of course, Prosper will have
thank you. Just a fraction of the ball. A fraction of the ball is in play. So thank you so much, Prosper, for giving us that opportunity. Wait. This be the play.
Prosper, kindly do us a favor and get us pictures of where corner flag, the flag posts are positioned. No, we just want to look at where the flag posts are positioned. Yeah. How can you extend this shade of sea blue or whatever blue and tell us this ball was in play?
See, so the thing is that I remember when it happened against United.
Rashford.
Rashford, Oriku said the same thing, that this thing happened at the World Cup. Yeah. And then the goal was given.
Yes.
Oriku said the same thing, that Rashford's ball could potentially have not gone out.
Yes.
And the referees did nothing about it. It was blatantly disallowed. Yeah. You understand? So I feel like sometimes we need to, like your coach said, it's a mistake. Exactly. Look, even Rashford's was a bit on the line. It was a bit on the line.
This one's West.
Yeah.
This one's West.
I like that.
How do you this West?
I like that now you are being objective.
Yeah. How do you disallow Rashford's goal and allow this one to stand?
Exactly.
This one is even worse.
You know, it's not about the decisions they make. It's about the inconsistency.
Thank you very much.
They are too inconsistent.
Take one thing and run with it. You cannot be making why.
Don't cry.
Now the meeting is over.
But I told you will not be unbeaten. I told you.
I was not expecting to be unbeaten the whole season.
You know,
but Arsenal fans too, sometimes I don't, because after the goal, you had so much time. Didn't they have so much time to score? You had so much time to equalize or do something. What happened?
Please, Tahith Chong has scored. Tahith Chong has scored.
Luton Town.
Luton has scored.
Luton Town.
We like it.
We feel it. What a weekend. We feel it. What a fantastic weekend. From being a magpie to coming from Luton Town. I like it. Thank you so much. But the show is about to begin. You're going to start with the Black Stars. And we're going to talk about Thomas Partey. Today is a conversation about Thomas Partey and his importance to the national team. We're also going to talk about the options that we have in midfield in Thomas Partey's absence. Now, the options we have are not encouraging. To be very honest with you, that they are not encouraging. I'm sure every one of you knows that they're not encouraging. Many of us are, many of you listeners are upset with Thomas Partey, with how he plays for the Black Stars. But who are the options in Partey's absence? Today, I'm starting the conversation with you, Aniela. I'm starting the conversation with you. Gabriel, tell us something. Thomas Partey's importance in the Black Stars.
I've not been able to recover.
That's what I'm
from
starting.
This blow.
That's what I'm starting
from
with
this
you.
blow.
That's what I'm starting
Even
with
when
you.
I'm trying to speak, I can feel the tears everywhere I pass, mockery here and there. Open my Twitter. Hey, please check on Daniela. Please check on Daniela. Make you all come out for there. But yeah, honestly, I think that Thomas Partey is a powerhouse in the midfield. And we can see a lot more of his physicality when he plays for Arsenal. I would admit, I'd actually be the first person to admit that I don't see that translate as well into the Black Stars, even though when the Black Stars are playing, we see a difference when Thomas Partey is in the mix. But now he's a lot more guarded. I remember weeks ago when we're talking about Partey, Oreku always mentioned when he goes over there, he sees the amount of Arsenal staff and Arsenal protection that come around when Partey comes to Ghana. Bill himself has covered that as well. And so it just goes to show how much of an important player he is. And when he's injured, it's likely to cause a lot of trouble and struggles. And the Black Stars are not high flying at the moment at all. They are not even low flying. They're underground. And so it's rather a tragedy. If we're talking about replacements.
No, we'll come to the replacements. We'll come to the replacements.
Yeah, but then again, his importance cannot be overstated. I just wish that he would play much more of a greater role, looking at his capability within the Black Stars.
When you talk about greater role, you're talking about an advanced role in the team.
I would like to see him, I don't know, move forward a bit more. Like the Partey that we see play for us now, the man is not even afraid to go for goal himself. Not like going beyond assisting or trying to get the ball from the middle into the opponent's net. But, just want him to go forward some more.
Okay. So, yesterday I saw a tweet, and I feel like the Partey issue, it's not just about the Black Stars, it's even about Arsenal. Because yesterday I saw an Arsenal fan complain about Declan Rice and the fact that, he takes the ball, opens his arms to try to find options, and then turns around to pass back to the defenders because it looks like there are no options. But Partey always seems to find someone ahead in an advanced role. Oreku, just take us through the difference between a deep lying playmaker, which Partey obviously is, and a defensive midfielder. Because a lot of times, many people try to box Partey as a defensive midfielder, which he's not.
At all.
Well, I think for Partey, he started out as a number 10, very advanced player, until he had an eye for goal. But Diego Simeone always saw him as a player who would do much better in the deeper areas in midfield because of his ability to play under pressure, to drive the ball when he is being boxed by opponents, and also his shooting capabilities, because usually the deeper you are, the less pressure you face on goal, the more space that you have to be able to shoot. And so that's how Simeone profiled him a few years back, and that has in turn produced the Partey that we have now. In terms of where I think is his best position, yes, I do agree that he's a deep-lying playmaker where it's almost like he's usually in the first phase of play, usually in your own half, and his sole responsibility is to ensure that the ball moves further to the next phase of play. And so from, let's say, your own half, can he find his number 8s, number 10s, and the wingers in more advanced areas, maybe the second phase or the third phase of play? And so that's what he is primarily set out to do. His defensive side is good, but isn't too great. And so there's always a trade-off. You're looking at what can he bring me on the ball as opposed to what can he bring me off the ball. And if you're going to look at this trade-off, that means that you must have the luxury of being a ball-dominant team where you are getting a lot of possession, you're not being attacked. And so, in essence, you're not exposing the not too good side of Partey. That's when he has to defend a lot. I think he does that really well. And the difference between him and Declan Rice is that Rice started from centre-back, Partey started from central attacking midfield, and they both ended up as midfielders. But the thing is that Rice, because he was more privy to defending, wins the ball better, tracks the ball better, stronger in duels. Partey, because he was further advanced, is more comfortable on the ball and can pick passes. So that's the difference between the two sides. And I think that there's a way that they can actually complement each other. For Thomas, I think the major problem with him that everyone has been talking about is injuries. And it's unfortunate that during his prime, he didn't play in a league where a lot of people watch. yes, people watch La Liga, but the only time that people were watching Partey in La Liga was when he was facing either Barcelona or Real Madrid.
Yeah.
And the Partey that I remember from La Liga was probably one of the best midfielders in the world at the time.
Yeah.
I remember when they played in the Super Cup, the Europa League, and even in the Champions League. He's had really amazing games for them. And for me, I would define that as Partey's prime. He came to Arsenal maybe slightly after his prime, and they're sort of getting the residue. But if he came to Arsenal a bit earlier, we would have seen a much, much better Partey. The truth is, we're not going to get better than this. He's 30 now, and he's only going to get weaker. He's probably going to decline a lot more from here. And so it's rather unfortunate, but I still hold that he is a very important player, unique profile, that if managed well, you can still get something out of in the last.
Pelo went until 36.
Yeah, in the last part of his career. But I think beyond Arsenal, my only concern is that for Ghana, I cannot really quantify what his legacy is. Because since he was introduced into the team maybe 7-8 years ago, he's had individually good games. I remember the hat-trick against Iceland. He's scored some amazing goals, free kicks, the goal that took us to the World Cup. But these are not legacy-defining moments. I mean, we would remember it, but the generation after me won't really care about the goal that took Ghana to the 2022 World Cup.
Exactly.
I think he could have done a lot more because, I mean, yeah, if that was Ghana's first World Cup, then fine. That's a big goal. But that was like our fourth World Cup in a row. So, not in a row, like our fourth World Cup in history. So it wasn't too much of a big deal. I just think that this AFCON was supposed to be his moment where he officially gets the armband. I think Andre Ayew won't be captain, will barely play. And so this was Partey's moment where he's supposed to take shine, lead the team, and actually have an impact in a major tournament. Because I think that's what defines your legacy when it comes to the Black Stars. And I still think that he doesn't have a legacy tournament yet. And I'm afraid that this AFCON might come at a wrong time because now he's struggling with muscle injuries. And when you're hearing your manager talk about his uncertainty about when you'll be fit again, it gets a bit worrisome. But we've all known this. We've all known that Partey is not fit. And it's a bit disappointing that even when we knew that he can only play 45 minutes against Mexico and not the full time against USA, we managed to still call him and come and give him the chance in a game that we didn't have to win and had the opportunity to try other players. I thought we could have given the opportunity to other players, but unfortunately we didn't do that, and that's very characteristic of Ghana. And now we are at the risk of playing our first two World Cup qualifiers without him, and we may have to give the opportunity to a player coming in for the first time in a must-win game.
Now, Bill, just look for Partey's potential replacements, the midfielders who could potentially be playing in Partey's absence. I'll come back to you with that. But Kelvin, quickly, just give me your thoughts on the Partey Black Stars issue.
Well, I think we haven't really handled him so well. I would say he was the best person to give us that transition from the Ajiman Bedus who were virtually fading off, Mohamed Rabiu, Mumu, and then probably Mubarak Wakasu. He was supposed to be that player who would play as an advanced forward for us, an advanced midfielder for us, just behind the forwards. And we saw that critically in the AFCON 2017 squad, when Partey was more like Esteban Appiah in the team for us because he had very good shields behind him. You look at that midfield from that particular tournament, and you had Efri Yakwa, then at Torino, Emmanuel Ajimambedu, Ayudni. You had Amate was drawn in as a midfielder because there were so many defenders in there. You had Edwin Jima, who wasn't even the two stuff for some of us. There was Mubarak Wakasu and then Partey. So Partey was given that liberty. I think we have failed in getting the main players who would serve as a shield for Partey to give us that attacking feel we saw from him in 2017. We might probably have limited him to a DM who creates from deeper lines. But you ask yourself, has the team been set up in a manner that can live up to Partey's qualities when he's playing as a deep line playmaker? No. He does that so well for us now because he has the channels to pass. He has those players who would run and position themselves in very good positions to pick up the ball. You look at Partey's time after the 2017 AFCON. and you ask yourself, which players has he been playing with? All these players are players who would want to come and feed on the ball rather than feeding off the ball, which will be delivered to them or for them. And that has been the difficulty. Jordan wants to be involved so much in the play. Andrea, you himself wants to be involved so much in play. You ask yourself, which other striker have we even had to give that Partey the option of very good runs to pick up passes? And that has been difficult. In recent times, I think during the World Cup qualifier, Rico spoke about it, that it's not too significant. But Partey gave us glimpses of what he can offer, even with an inexperienced Afinajan. He knows how to move, but he doesn't know how to pick up the passes. If Partey had someone like a Samuel Jan, I'm sure he could have had all those balls probably going on target, or the goalkeeper is being worked out for us to see the quality of passing that he delivered to Afinajan on that particular double header we played against Nigeria.
Kevin, just hold your horses there. Let's take a break here on the Sports Fortress. We are back shortly.
Tuesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays will never be the same with Betway. Get cash rewards, free bets, free spins, and more with deposits on Top Up Tuesdays. Log in on Fridays for a chance to get free bets, free spins, and more. And every Saturday, get boosted odds across the most popular bet types on the weekend's big fixture. Get way more at betway.com.gh. Regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. No under 18. Terms and conditions apply. Betway. Get way more.
Yeah, welcome back. This is Sports Ultras right here on 3FM 92.7. Kelvin, you are making a point.
Yeah, so I think that we haven't had a team that would feed off Partey's qualities. But you ask yourself, if you want to be a player who would write your name in the history books of Ghana as one of the best players, you need to stay fit. For national team football, very few matches are played there, unlike club side where you can write your name in history with few matches.
Yeah.
Jose Antonio Reyes did not play 1,000 games for Arsenal. But his impact has always been felt because he did his best in the little that he gave. Abu Dhabi, how many matches did he play?
Yeah.
But he's always remembered because he's one of the players who gave his heart all out to the team. But ask yourself, how many times has Partey been fit after the 2017 African Nations Cup to give us a very good tournament? In 2019, it was a terrible showdown, and you were present there, and then it was just a disappointment.
It's a forgettable one. Yeah.
2022, we all saw what happened at the Africa Cup of Nations. He was injured and came to the tournament like nothing was at stake because he wanted to preserve himself. So I think that the signs were clear 2 years ago when the injuries started popping up at Arsenal. We should have found very good replacements. We should have brought in players we could have built the team around. But Ghana hasn't been able to do that. We've had 4 different coaches come in, and we haven't been able to get in a player who can play there. Probably we should have used Partey like Bissouma. He comes to Tottenham and he plays in a deeper role. But he goes to Mali and he plays as an offensive midfielder for them.
Yeah.
We've seen instances where Paul Pogba stays in Manchester United and he plays as an 8 or a 6. But he goes to the French national team and he plays as a deep-lying playmaker where Matuidi and other players will work in around him. It's all about finding the balance between the two, the set of midfielders that we have.
Yeah.
Even in recent times, you ask yourself, there is Salis, there is Partey, but have we been able to achieve that balance to be drawn between the two players? No. Who would be very compatible with Partey? These are elite coaches who should be able to know that even if Partey can play as a deep line playmaker and we play other players around him and we can get the result, let's play him rather than complicating things for ourselves and putting so many other midfielders in play to prevent us from getting the needed result.
Right.
Now, if we are without Partey, it's going to be very difficult for our progressive play, and we've seen that.
Yeah.
Salis may be doing well defensively, may be doing the passing accuracy, but who is going to take the risk like Mubarak Wakasu would do? Like Sule Ali Muntari will do, like Stephen Appiah will do, like Michael Essien will provide that edge and switch up front, like Partey normally does for the team when he plays for the Black Stars. I don't see that. So we are missing an integral part.
Yeah.
If Partey is going to miss from our games in the next couple of years or months ahead.
So Bill, take us to the other midfielders we have. How many are they, and who can we potentially rely on?
So I mean, we've had a few midfielders join the team since the 2022 World Cup, and most of them have been more defensively minded. For example, Salih Samid is more safe when it comes to his passing. Partey will take more risks. He goes for longer, and he tries to find his man further up the pitch as compared to Salis, who more or less go closer. Someone like Edmonado is more or less the same. Some other players are also the same, but these three players, I've narrowed down to these three players who can in some way perform the duties that Partey does. One of them is Daniel Kofitre, but unfortunately he's injured, and he's injured for a long time, and he might also miss the AFCON. Another person is Majid Ashimeru, who we know from his Wafa days. He played further up the pitch. He's also coming to central midfield. I remember his game against Angola. He was really good carrying the ball forward, and that is something that Partey also does very well, progressing the ball forwards. And another person, an outside person, is Forsen Amankwa, who plays in the Austrian league, and this season he's already scored 2 goals, 2 assists for his club, and he plays as an attacking midfielder, can play as a winger, and can also play as a central midfielder, which is something we need in our Black Star setup right now. But most of the players we have are more defensive minded, like Idrisu Baba, like Salih Samed. All of them are defensive, but for someone to adequately replace Partey, then it could be a Kofitre, it could be a Forsen Amankwa, it could be a Majid Ashimeri.
Oriku, let's look at this. If the Black Stars supposedly want to play a 3-man midfield, and there's no Partey, Edmond Ado, Salis, Majid Ashimeru, does that work?
No midfield works with Edmond Ado. I'm sorry. So I'll bin him. If he was good enough, he'd be playing for his club side.
Right.
And so I wouldn't go with Edmond Ado. But I'm looking at something like Salis, Ashmeru, and Tre.
Okay.
So more or less, I'll go with 4-2-3-1, where I play Ashimeru and Salis as my 6 and 8.
But in this case, there's no chair as well.
Tre's not available. So what is Oriku building his team?
No, are you saying my ideal or what?
No, I'm saying that, I mean, going forward, we are like going into these games, going into the AFCON.
Oh, like these qualifiers that are coming up.
These qualifiers, and then the AFCON.
These qualifiers, I'm hoping that Ashimaro started training, but he's yet to play an actual game. I'm hoping that the game is in, I think, a couple of weeks' time. Around 10, 12 days, 14, maybe. So I'm hoping that at least he will get some few minutes in the tank, and he will be able to come down. And once I think Ashimeru plays with someone like Salis, that in itself is okay. Because what that would mean is that we can play Kudus in the number 10 position, where he can drop a bit deeper and help move the ball upfield with his ball carrying. It doesn't have to be the passing like Thomas Partey. For Forsen, there's no need to. It will be suicidal, in my opinion. It will almost be like the Jerome Opoku call-up, where as a young player, you want to make sure you are coming into the national team at a time where you are mentally ready for it. He doesn't even know what it feels like to play for Ghana. He hasn't played for under 23. I've not seen him with under 20. And these guys have been ignored at the youth side for a long time. And so it would take some time to mentally let him get what it means to play for the national team, the pressure that comes with it, and time to settle. And I don't think I would want to put him in games against Comoros and Madagascar that Ghana needs to win. It's a high pressure environment, and I would even love to see a young player in that. And so I think it's a bit too soon for him. Maybe we can try him out in the next set of friendlies or something, or just call him and not even play him
against Madagascar.
No, it's not about the opposition. It's about the state of the team and the pressure. Because you see, he can be a good player, but once he comes and there's so much pressure, everyone is panicking and he doesn't play well. That's all Ghanaians.
How long do we wait for these guys? How long should we wait for these guys?
But nobody
he shines.
But nobody moves from
but
not playing for national team.
But the thing is that where the team is now, I understand Oreku's point. Where the team is now, there's there's that pressure that he might come in and not play.
It's not
that
stable.
pressure.
It's not stable. The ones that you've used
That
already.
that pressure could also go off in bringing fine, fresh faces who would want to make an impact. If you're a good coach, you don't care about these new faces who would come into the team to excel. Just bring them on board, give them that game plan. They are professional players. They would understand and deliver. If Force and Amoka cannot play against Madagascar, then we'll team baby.
I'm afraid I'll have to agree with Kelvin on this. And more so, we are already performing poorly. What again?
No, you are thinking about player perception. It's really important because look, it can make or break your career. Everyone was sitting here calling Fatah a bad player just a year ago because he came to Ghana and he was not playing well.
Yeah.
It's not because he
That
was
one
bad.
day was clear, even his club side. No, but this was the same. It was a reality check.
The same guy that came to under 23.
check.
Hold on. Hold on. So you can join the conversation. Join us on the phone. 055-9242-717 and 055-6910-154. 055-9242-717 055-6910-154.
Yeah, now saying that the problem was the progression with Fatah, where fantastic player did well in the under 20 AFCON best player, and then all of a sudden this guy becomes like first name on the team sheet for Black Stars. And as a young player, it starts to affect his psyche. It makes him believe he's somewhere that he's not.
Yeah.
And it affects his style of play. All of a sudden, the pressure that comes to the Black Stars is affecting him because he came at a time where the team too was not playing well. And everybody's like, Fatah is like a cut and shoot player. He doesn't know how to. Why is he being? He's a protocol player. And all of the. And I was like, come on. You see, that's what happens when you throw these guys into these situations. In the end, you end up losing. If it wasn't for the fact that he was able to get a low move to Leicester and he stayed the remainder of the season at Sporting, trust me, this guy's career would have been somewhere else.
Yep.
So it's important that you take your time when it comes to these young players because, Charlie, the exposure that they have is not even plenty like that. Too. Just 2 years ago, Forsen was playing in the Ghana Premier League.
Yep.
So he hasn't really seen a lot.
Yeah.
Champions League, they're making him play like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Like, it's slow. You don't just put them in high-pressure situations like that.
Yeah.
So I think that, look, it's not Forsen that will be the reason why we beat Madagascar or not. Honestly, Forsen is not the reason.
Oreku has patience for everybody in the world apart from Midiama. Everybody in the world, Oreku has patience for them. Apart from Midiama. Give them time to build. You can't just throw anyone if it's Midiama.
But be true.
Anyway, so you can join the conversation 055-9242-717 055-6910-154. And if Partey is not in the team for the qualifying games that are coming up, who should take up the place? That's the question we are asking today. 055-9242-717 055-6910-154. Kelvin, you are talking about Forsen.
Yeah, I think that these are guys who are upcoming and then they should be able to fit in well. You don't expect Forsen Amonkwa at his age. How old is he? He's more than 20. He's 20.
Should be in around 20, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, he's around 20.
So yes. If Forsen is 20 years and he cannot play for the Black Stars, what are you telling me? When he plays for what's the club? Salzburg.
Yeah, the problem that we've created for ourselves is that this is a guy that by now you should have played under 17, under 20, and under
very
22.
good. The fact that yes, he's gone beyond that. We cannot go back to it. But this is a guy who is playing in the Austrian, the same league that you pick the goalkeeper from to come and play. Isn't the same league?
The same league.
Isn't it the same league? No.
Haaland came from. Right?
Exactly. And if he cannot come and battle against Madagascar, when you give him the confidence to play and he cannot do it, then I don't think we even have a future as a national team.
Your coach cannot even inspire confidence in experienced players.
Very good. So that means you need to get rid of the coach. As simple as that. If you're a coach and you cannot bring on a young lad to come and play, how old is Zaire Emery and he's playing for PSG among the big guns?
Yeah, he's 17.
Look at his performance.
He's 17. Yeah, he's very young.
How old were some other young players? Rashford, when he tore Arsenal apart a day before writing a paper.
Yeah.
Isn't it the same environment that these young lads are built from? And that is why I think that if our coaches are not cut to give the confidence to these guys, then they have no business there. Milovan Rajevac picked Samuel Lincoln. And it started even from Claude Leroy. at the 2008 Africa Cup of Nations, Andre did not really excel, but that was a lot of confidence for him on home soil.
Yeah.
In 2009, when they won the Africa Nations Cup and won the World Cup, all these players, Ajaman Bedu, Rabiu, Samuel Inkum, they walked into the Black Stars. That was the confidence given by Milo, and he dropped players. The boys battled Steven Appiah, Sule Muntari, and the likes for positions in the national team. It came from the confidence given to them.
No, but they had just won the World Cup.
Yeah,
they had just won the World Cup.
Yeah.
That is the under-20 World Cup.
Yeah,
ask yourself, how experienced was Ajaman Bedu at the biggest stage?
No, but you don't go. I'm saying that they had that confidence from, we've just won the under-20 World Cup. We've seen what it feels. So like naturally, that's the next progression for them. But a lot of these guys, Afenajan, forcing this,
I agree.
They don't have that confidence or even feeling anything with Ghana. Like the passion of playing the World Cup with Ghana, the pressure.
Edmonado, where had he played? Sheriff
No,
Tiraspol.
I'm not saying that. Look, I'm not even looking at player ability here. I'm just saying.
Why are we not looking at player ability?
No, look,
when
ability,
you are looking at performance.
Ability is always second to your mental.
No,
look,
no,
come on. You can be the best. You can be the best player in the world right now, but if your mental psyche is not in the, you cannot even execute
and who
half of
that?
what.
No, wait.
And
So
I'm
should we
saying
wait for Black Stars not to qualify for anything? Then we'll
No,
just
but why is that
playing
all of
for
a
elite
sudden
and
you're
playing
making
with
it
ourselves?
look like force number? Why is the person going to change the
Yeah,
football?
yeah.
I'm like,
saying
why
that.
risk the kid? Because you don't have a
Risk
hand
a
up.
20-year-old in modern football.
How is it not a risk? You've just in the
20-year-old.
past year, you've just seen what has happened to Afenajan and Fatawi Saku. This same Afenajan,
No.
this same Afenajan that came, you posted that next Asamoah Gyan, all the hype, 2-3 games, he was not scoring. See what you've done to the boy now.
Look
Look at the boy now. Look at the boy now.
The guy is traumatized, actually.
That's what I'm telling you. That's the thing with young players. You either get it right or you get it wrong.
No, it's true.
If you get it wrong, you
true.
ruin his career.
So why
agree,
do you
I
want
agree.
to stay meticulous, Mary, when you can take risks? When you take risks and it gets you the
No, but you need
results,
to take a calculated risk.
Kelvin, the thing is
What
that,
is a calculated risk you're talking about?
Kelvin, the thing is that we've done it with Afenajan, we've done it with Fatal. All of them have no work.
Kamal cry.
Do we?
Yeah, look at him.
He's not serious.
He's on.
Nah, he's not right here.
He's not serious. If we are going to do another one with another player, it has to be calculated. We can't just throw forcing into the Black Stars and say play like.
No,
the
you see,
way-
right now, when I mentioned Jerome
this
Opoku, what do you remember?
See,
Who
said the
is
US.
It could be that he's a good player. It could be that he's a good player.
Yeah, from which team?
Oh, no, I'm just saying.
Good player from which team?
He could be a good player.
Good player from which
It
team?
could be.
Tell us.
No,
which
I'm
team?
just telling you.
No, tell us.
It could
On
be.
loan where?
It could be that he's a good player. He plays in the Turkish league. It could be that he's a good player.
Yeah.
I'm saying this as an assumption because, to be honest, I've not watched him play. I've just seen a few clips of him. And it could be that he was a good player, but he just came to the team at the wrong time in a game that no matter who played, we were going to be battered because for some reason the team decided not to turn up.
Yes.
Imagine that was Forson's debut.
Yeah.
You ruined it for NLB for a long time because anytime they call Jerome Opoku, they'll refer him back to this game. As a guy was
You think it doesn't happen? It doesn't happen elsewhere.
No, it happens elsewhere. But
I remember Bukayo Saka's first game. You remember at the Euros when he missed the penalty. You remember the insult, the racial abuse, and all that. Why is it that Gareth Southgate continued playing that young lad? Why? And now he's become a mainstay, one of the integral members of the Three Lions squad. Why? Why can't our coaches do same with our players? Benching senior ones and allowing those who have the ability to play.
But
Edmond Adona, when you know, what has he given us?
but-
No, sincerely, no.
By my
If you call
opinion-
Jerome Opoku, who hasn't had any experience with under 20, and the same excuse you are given for forcing to play, why don't you play forcing too? It's also a risk. Don't stay meticulous, Mary, and lose everything that you have. And at the end, you come back to come and act like there is something else for us to play for.
But this whole
Just
thing,
just
this whole
play
thing-
those who have the ability. Give them that opportunity and let us get the results. Rather than looking at these players who won't give us anything, come and sit
This-
on the bench and then give us zero.
I
Like
pers-
Lolero did in
Yeah,
2008.
yeah.
I bring up Puma Baruso to the bench and then we had no option when Mike Lessian was unavailable.
But the thing, but this thing, I don't. I firmly believe that it won't be a Oreku's issue if the squad progression in this our country was good. enough.
Okay.
Because previously, Stephen Appiah and the rest went through some progression. We saw them at the 2004 Olympics. We saw them there.
Yeah.
And then they progressed to the Black Stars level. They all progressed to, the codes to under 17s to under 20 to Black Stars. We called Kamal Dean. I don't remember seeing him in under 20 or even under 23 when they called him just this year. He didn't go. Partey Sharaku, after playing like just a few games at under 20 level, no.
But he played.
Few games.
But he played.
Few games.
But how many under 20 games you also play? Are they able to play 100 under 20 games?
Okay, at least he tried. At least he tried.
It made sense, but just that it was too fast. All of a sudden now he's starting games.
Yeah.
Going to the World Cup when the other players there and all that.
I'm just so surprised that Oreku is a patient person.
No, all of a sudden he was starting games, but who was to direct the way he plays? I remember Fatau Isaaku when he moved from Steadfast and joined Dreams FC.
Yeah, Dreams was...
Karim Zito gave him a core duty, core responsibility. Gentlemen, you don't shoot. You have the skill. Take your time, deal with the ball, take on defenders, make the final pass, run into the box, and you can finish the ball. And we saw that even in that first game against Kotoko, the first 4 games when he was scoring, he was not hitting the ball like he was doing in the Black Stars when he stood anywhere to hit the ball. And I'm sure we watched some games where he hit the ball and then some senior players were like, gentlemen, what are you trying to do? That is when you need the coach to come in, because this is a guy whose capabilities cannot be underestimated. He has the potential.
So the problem is coaching.
Yes, it's coaching, and we've seen it. Coaching in Yadi.
And also, and it's not just coaching; it's the progression plan.
And the progression plan.
It's not good.
Okay.
It's not good.
Right.
There's not something we can solve
We've made it. No, and you see that's the thing. I keep telling anyone who talks about progression, because then we should just forget about doing anything.
And come home and train for 5 years.
And then 10 years time we try, because we can start again. We can. There are young boys at Charity Stars and Right to Dream and things.
Cheetah.
Let's start building them up.
Cheetah,
Cheetah too. So that they can because I really don't. To be very honest with you, like I really don't see this. Because I don't know where the direction of the Black Stars is going. And it's the reason why sometimes we say some of the things we say that I tell you guys that it's not going to get better. Because you don't really know where the problems are to try to solve them. I mean,
it's a number.
I am a journalist. I sit and watch. I write, whatever. But the people close to the team, do they even know what's wrong with the team?
Oh, they think we can win AFCON anyway.
Exactly. And those are some of our problems, guys. You guys have made your points clear, and I know that we are going to be getting a lot of messages on Facebook on this topic. Let's move on now to the state of our national stadiums. Kelvin, take me through that topic, the state of our national stadiums, Accra, Kumasi, and Cape Coast.
Accra, Kumasi, Cape Coast, even Tamale, because Tamale can also host.
Oh no, Tamale, but you know they can't even try.
Yesterday we all saw the pictures from the Hearts Kerala United game. It's just bad. Now, as it stands now, we don't. I think even with CAF's inspection, they've been very lenient on Ghana. If they decide to be very stern, cannot play any single match here, not even for the Black Queens. We don't have any proper stadium or facility that can host our games. Remember when these facilities were put up, and the National Sports Authority have always been there taking percentages from clubs, and we even do complain that there is too much burden on the clubs, and even the percentage taken by the Sports Authority is too much for them. But maintenance culture has always been absent. I remember when I was the deputy venue media officer for the Barbara Sports Stadium in Kumasi, the explanation or the reasons given to us for the poor maintenance.
Who's showing the Takwa Stadium? Hey, you want to play an international match at TNA?
TNA.
Anyway,
so they get the money, and the money has to be sent to Accra before they write memos for money to be released for cleaning of the stadium after a match. And we all know how bureaucratic that process is. So it delays for so many months that when the money comes, the stadium there is what exactly. And that has been the.
So why is it not decentralized?
It's That is for National Sports Authority.
Because the Baba Stadium is big on its own.
Exactly.
They can handle their issues.
That is it.
There could be a stadium manager who can make sure that the stadium.
There's always a facility. They even have an estate manager.
Exactly.
Estate manager. There is the director for Ashanti region.
So why can't they manage their own finances?
And that is the problem. They even have accountants there. Wow. They have 2 or 3 accountants in Kumasi. Hey. Yes, I am telling you this. Plus national
2 or 3.
Yes, plus national service people who work there.
Hey.
Yes. So why is it that they have to go in there and come? And it's always become a problem. We've seen several times where the NSA and the sports ministry tell us that there is a renovation work going on here, renovation work. It had to take the World Cup qualifiers against Nigeria for even the Barbara Sports Stadium to see some level of renovation. And even after that, when it rains now, the stadium leaks, it drains. Even the pitch, I'm telling you that in the next 2 or 3 months, if it rains, it shouldn't rain heavily. It will be very difficult for the drains to absorb the water for matches to be played. I think we have just disappointed ourselves so much. We've always given priority to, do I say, useless activities at the stadium instead of allowing football and sports to be the priority. If we should have a national athletics competition now, I don't know which stadium can host it.
Yeah, maybe
aside the Pajo or maybe Cape Coast Stadium. Cape Coast Stadium.
Yeah.
And even with that, look at the tracks.
Yeah.
Are they in good condition? No. It's been a total neglect. And I think our leaders have been so much of a disappointment. Professor Peter Chumesi, they've always been battling for gate proceeds and then we should use the new system of ticketing and all that. But when the money comes in, where does it go? Why is it that as a nation we haven't prioritized these things? And we even know that for politics, they go to the stadiums to hold their convention. And even yesterday, they used, luckily for us this time around, they did not use the main pitch. They used the car park and then outside the stadium for the rally. And even at Christmas is coming. They will tell the clubs that they should move away from the stadium and convention because there will be cross nights, concert and exactly. Stoneboy is going to do 22nd, which means that football clubs cannot play or host their matches at the national stadium. That is fine. Stadiums are not just for football, but do they even provide the right covering material for the pitch before it's held? All these standards have been allowed to be washed away. And the reason why we are at this point, can you imagine a national stadium where we play the national anthem or even make public announcement and you are seated at the center line, you cannot hear anything? Meanwhile, in 2008, when just a word was said at the press box, you could hear it at every point of the stadium, all because systems were working. These are things that you don't allow to get rotten for a very long period before you repair it. And that is why we are here as a nation. You go to the Accra Sports Stadium, and because the roofing of the VIP is messed up, they've decided to build or erect some platforms just to enable some shade for those who are there. More like you're having a wedding or a party, and then you see these new tents and coverings that are used to make sure that they provide shade for them. And even with that, it's not adequate because when the material gets heated, you feel the heat sitting under it. It's just too much of a disappointment. And I think the monies that have been invested into these youth resource centers and all that could have been put into proper use by renovating this stadium. They tell us there's even that stadium, it's just sad. You give it to people who want scraps, and I'm telling you, they will not even take the scraps from that stadium because there's nothing really good you can pick from that stadium. And it's a shame on our part, not just the NSE, the sports ministry. How much money would it take you to invest in renovation? Should it take us more than 200,000 to put things in order at the dressing room, on the pitch? Should it take us more than $200,000? I don't know, but should it take us more than $200,000? That is just an appearance fee for just 2 players.
No, you see, I think it just comes from the myopic thinking of our leaders, where no one is really thinking long term that can I do something in Ghana football that 10, 15 years from now, people will look back and say, okay, this is what the GFA did. This is what the sports ministry or this is what the NSA did that changed Ghana football. Why is it that all that money that we get at the World Cup, all that sponsorship, all these resources that we get, why can't you even start a campaign, partner corporate bodies to raise funds if you don't have enough money to at least pick 2 stadiums in Ghana here and say that you would make sure that you ensure that they're of the highest quality, and you would have pitches that you take care of them every week or maybe twice every week. How much money would that really take? Because at the end of the day, what they don't realize is that it's more or less like a rippling effect, where if the stadiums are really bad, one, you're losing your main source of revenue because fans will come to the stadium for a good experience. If I come and it rains and the water falls on me, why would I come? If I come, the chairs are dirty, why would I come? If a player comes to play on the pitch and is all nasty and the ball can't even roll on the pitch properly, that affects the quality of play, and so the game is not nice. Fans don't want to watch it, and now you are thinking about how a bad pitch has affected the players, it's affected the fans, and essentially now you're not even getting money in because people don't go and watch your teams play again. I think that all we just have to do is pick 2 stadiums. We don't even have to start with plenty. Pick 2. And say that these stadiums, you want to make sure that you take care of them, that they're of the highest quality. And to do that, you need to ensure that these clubs also take care of themselves. And our clubs also have to do better, because why is House of Folk? Why don't you have a House of Folk? How long have you been existing for? How are you still sharing stadiums with Legon cities? Like, how can you inspire these new teams? Mediama are about to complete a stadium. If all of these clubs were seeing their mates building stadiums somewhere, they would be inspired to start thinking like that, because Mediama have one, Kotoko have one, how to focus. It's like we are being left behind, and so essentially you are forcing leaders of teams to actually now start looking and thinking in that way. Imagine all 16 or 18 Ghana Premier League clubs had their own pitches. Then the Accra Sports Stadium can rest small. Then Baba Yara can rest small. But when you have 5-6 teams sharing one stadium, today they play, tomorrow they play, then Black Queens will come and play. Even if we maintain the pitch, it is not healthy. Even if you go and bring world-class grass people to take, you can't, it won't stay green, because you're not supposed to play on it every day. The best pitches in the world are used once, twice a week at most. That's it. So, I mean, the problem is big, but it needs to start from somewhere where I think we need to choose 2, at least for the integrity of our football. If we call ourselves a football nation and now World Cup qualifiers coming, you can't even find somewhere to play. Hey, Ghana. Imagine they tell us to go and play outside the country. That would be such a huge indictment on the NSA, the sports ministry, and the GFA. So I don't know how you can overlook that and say, at least let's find one crowd that we can use to play international competitions, and then once we have that one, we can start to think long term. I think that should be the starting point, because it's just so embarrassing. You are the football is not going well. You two are infrastructure. So, like, what even makes us a football nation? What at all?
All these make me wonder when Ghana can host another AFCON.
Oh, please forget it.
Can't you see how we are out of? We don't even try it.
Forget it. Bill, take us through the CAF Women's Champions League quickly, and then we can move to the African Football League.
So, in the CAF Women's Champions League, of course, the competition is set to start today in Ivory Coast, and 8 teams are competing in that competition. AS FAR are the current holders. Mamelodi Sundowns won the first ever tournament, and they're still competing in this one. And 5 out of 8 are actually debutants. Yes, 5 out of the 8 teams are debutants, including our very own Ampem Dakwan, who are currently in Ivory Coast and are waiting to start their first game of the tournament, which is set to start tomorrow. They'll play their first game tomorrow in that competition. But in this one, so So we have from the 5th of November till later this month to complete this tournament, and it's supposedly the 3rd edition of the CAF Women's Champions League, and hopefully Ampem Dakwa goes far, because I mean the first time Hazakis ladies competed in that competition, they got all the way to the final where they were beaten by their opponents Mamelodi Sundowns. And so hopefully Ampem Dakwa would make it all the way, but they are in the tough group with AS FAR, who are the current holders of the competition, and so hopefully they do make it out of their group, and then they go far and then win it.
Kelvin, can they do it? Can Ampem Dakwa do it?
Well, I think they have the capability to do it. I think they've been very strong, pretty strong, and how they managed to win the WAFU Zone B qualifiers for this major tournament gives me that confidence that yes, they have a very good team. Thankfully, one of the very good centre forwards when it comes to the team that even Nora Hopto had been contemplating whether she should invite her to the senior national team. As we know well, they call her Sugar. Yes, that striker from Dakwa, and I think she's doing very, very well. Hopefully, this comes good. And I think Nana Dakwa has also been much more experienced and exposed to some top level management. You know, he works with Basigi at the under 20 level, and he handled things himself when he won the WAFU Zone B, and he's battled Basigi several times and he's managed to beat him, and that clearly gives him that confidence that yes, I'm also at a level where I can match up with some of the big gangs in Africa. So this should be a good competition. I hear they will still be seeking support from some other technical team members on the local scene, and even probably even if Nora could give some advice on how things should go, they could give it. I think they've had a very solid team for quite some time now. The players haven't moved, unlike Hazakis ladies where they transfer so many other players outside. This should be a very good exercise for them, but just like Bill was saying, they are in a very tough group. ASFA, very strong team. There's a Ghanaian in there, Blessing Shine. There's a very good centre back in there who's been winning with them. So I just hope that they can really be resilient, that like they did back in the WAFU Zone B qualifiers, and then they can make us proud. Even if they get out of their group, I think it will be a very commendable achievement. They are not rated as high as Hazakis ladies when it comes to women football on the continent, but I think that this could be a very good stake for them to make a name for themselves, and I trust they can do it.
So they are playing their opening match in the competition. That's between Atletico Abidjan, the host, and Sporting Casablanca. Currently it's 1-1. The game is about to end, and for Ampem Dakwa's games, the first game they are going to play is against AS FAR, the current holders, tomorrow at 5 p.m. That's a very, very tough one for them, and their second game will be against Monday, which is the Guinean side, and the third would also be against Hurricanes FC. That will be on Sunday at 12th of November. And so very, very tough 3 games for them.
Well, we'll see how that goes. All the best to Ampem Dakwa ladies in their quest to winning the CAF Women's Champions League. Bill, take us to the African Football League and what has been happening in the past week.
So a number of things. I mean, Mamelodi Sundowns managed to beat their opponents in the semi-final, and there were a bit of controversy in there. Al Ali people were complaining that their Mamelodi Sundowns weren't really playing fair, and then the coach had a very explosive post-match with the media.
I'm a huge fan of him.
8 minutes response for one question.
8 minutes bringing his own.
Rulani Mokwena is
so brilliant from him. We loved seeing that. But currently they are playing the final. That's between Wydad and Mamelodi Sundowns, and Wydad are leading by 1-0, and it's half time.
Wydad,
then they worry. Then they worry. They are really worrying us.
But I mean, so it's the final of the African Football League. Wydad and then Mamelodi Sundowns, which is a really tough game. Now, Kelvin, I mean, Wydad Sundowns, familiar foes, facing each other. Is there an opportunity that Mamelodi Sundowns can get back into the game?
Well, this is going to be a 2-legged affair, and then Wydad are playing home Yeah, this is the first leg, and I'm sure with that from last year's experience against Al Ahly, know that even if you are playing home or you expect to win at home, there could be surprises up for you. So they would give in their best. They managed to score the first goal, but it was ruled out because of I think some foul before that particular goal. Before Coetzee scored an own goal, there was a cutback, and then he couldn't just prevent it from getting in, and then they managed to concede. But I trust this team. This team has lost a couple of players. Cassius Melula and a couple of others have all walked out of the team, but they still have the core where they have Temba Zwane and then Maseko. There's Modiba and even Kwete himself. And I think Rowan Williams has been one of the phenomenal figures. Many a times that he's been laughed at for being poor when it comes to goalkeeping, but I think this particular campaign he's really lived up to it. Right. This is the first leg, 1-0, not too much of an exciting result for with that, but also a very dicey result for Mamelodi Sundowns. They still have the second half to play, and I just hope that Sundowns will pull this up. It was very disappointing to see their exploits at the CAF Champions League cut down by almighty Al Ahly, but with that, who had also not been playing well, this could also serve as a very good moment for them. The likes of Atiat Allah would be looking forward to winning this particular trophy to appease their fans for their poor performance during last season's CAF Champions League, especially in the group stages where they could not even pull that bit of surprise that was expected. So we expect an explosive second 45 minutes, and hopefully after that we should call that bad. I think Mamelodi Sundowns, after that experience against Al Ahly, going to draw goalless in Cairo in the semi-final should give them that edge that yes, we can at least grab a point or a draw from this game and then go finish the business in South Africa.
But I mean, South Africa, so good club level. Bafana. I don't know, but that's a conversation for another day. Let's head into the English Premier League now. We'll go into the Ghana Premier League, but let's begin with the English Premier League. Now, let me just run you through the results this week. And it started yesterday, the early kickoff. Man United took on Fulham. They beat them by 1-0, 1-0. And then Brentford also beat West Ham United by 3-2. Mohamed Kudus scoring a cracking goal in that game. And then Sheffield United beating Wolves by 2-1. Man City 6-1 against AFC Bournemouth. And then Burnley also losing to Crystal Palace. Burnley are in such a precarious position at the moment. Nothing seems to be working for them. Everton have found their voice again. 4 points from 2 games is incredibly good. They took on West Ham last week. They beat them, and then they drew against Brighton 1-1 in that game. Nottingham Forest also beating Aston Villa by 2-0, which was quite a shock result. Arsenal losing to Newcastle United, and then Luton Town also taking on Liverpool, drawing 1-1. Tomorrow, Monday, 8 p.m. is Tottenham Hotspur, who will take on Chelsea. Bill, which one do you want to talk about? I'm not going to give you a question. Which one do you want to talk about? You can pick and start speaking about it.
You know the one I want to talk.
So let's go.
Thank you very much. Arsenal versus Newcastle. I mean, St. James's Park has been a very tough ground for any team in recent years. Eddie Howe has set up his side to be very disciplined and very physical in games. I mean, we saw what they did to PSG in the Champions League, and so I didn't expect it to be easy for Arsenal, even though they won by 2-0 just last season. But I mean, some of the things that happened during the game, Bruno Guimaraes, I don't know whether he's a wrestler or a footballer. I couldn't tell which was which, because the way he hit Jorginho's head during the first half, I was like, what is this? And the referee ignored it. And then to the goal. I mean,
why wouldn't you talk about Havertz?
Oh yeah, Havertz.
Why would you talk about Havertz?
Havertz too.
Maybe after the yellow card, he commented like something too fast.
Why are you not talking about Havertz? You just went from Guimaraes and you're going to the goal.
Havertz yesterday, I don't know. I think he was possessed.
I'm trying to protect my player.
So let's talk about the goal.
Yes,
what happened?
But with the goal, I mean, before I even talk about, the controversy on the goal. Raya, he came too far off his goalkeeping line. I mean, the first thing of a goalkeeper is to make saves. And if you're going to make saves, be at the right position to make the save.
No, the thing is, if you're coming out, don't miss it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And he came out too far. He came too far, and his timing was so wrong. to the extent that it gave Joe Linton wouldn't have had a chance to battle against Gabriel and win. I mean, some people say it's a foul. I'm not going to talk about that. But Joe Linton wouldn't have had that chance if Raya had gotten onto the ball, punched it away at least. And that didn't happen. And that mistake is on him.
Yeah.
Even if Arteta goes out, even if, eventually PGMOL comes to apologize to Arsenal, still, I would blame Raya. And I now feel that there's no difference between him and Ramsdale, really. If this is what he's going to bring to the team, then use Ramsdale, because we are used to him. At least he was in the post 2 seasons ago and last season, and we saw the kind of progression that he had in the team. He was solid in the team. He was very close to winning the Golden Glove just last season. And so dropping him for someone like Raya, who is made mistakes upon mistakes upon mistakes since coming on as the goalkeeper, then I don't see the use.
Oh, no, I think if you say mistake upon mistake upon mistake, I don't think you are being fair to Raya, because you can speak about his confidence. His confidence has been wavering, but he hasn't made too many mistakes.
He's made mistakes that he's not been punished for. Notes.
Okay.
And mistakes he's been punished for.
No, it only becomes a mistake when you're punished for it, right?
It's still a mistake.
Yeah, it's still a mistake, but at least you've been able to cover yourself. So it's his confidence that's wavering.
If I watch a goalkeeper and this goalkeeper puts any fan's heart on skates, makes the fan have to think twice anytime he gets onto the ball, then I shouldn't be seeing that goalkeeper in the post, should I? Against Lens in the Champions League away from home. Yeah. You saw what he did, and Lens got that goal. Yeah. That was from him. Yeah. I believe the game we beat was in Manchester United or so. We saw the mistakes he was making. He was spared at some point. Even against Tottenham, at some point he was spared, but he was also punished. Again, even against Chelsea too. Yeah. He was still shaky. Yeah. He's been shaky throughout, and I can't. I've seen Ramsdale. Make me question why he's the goalkeeper, but not as consistent as this. There are some games you see Ramsdale top class throughout.
But it's okay, your time is up. Your time is up.
Right, fraud.
So you know the funny thing about Bill's submission, Bill started using question tags. That's when I knew that actually, you're really going through it. but let's move on. Kelvin. Yeah. Let's talk about Jeremy Doku. Yesterday, masterful performance from Jeremy Doku.
This is what you need. This is what you need from a proper player. You spend less than £70 million or £65 million to get.
What are you trying to tell
Less than
Anthony?
£100 million to get.
What are you trying to tell Anthony?
If Anthony, Kai Havertz, there's this other player,
Mason Mount.
Yeah.
Yes.
The other players who have been bought for huge amounts, they are not delivering.
Yeah.
If you guys are bought for this amount and you cannot do what a proper winger or a forward is supposed to do, then shame unto you. Yeah. And for the managers who saw this player and allowed Pep Guardiola to spend less to go and buy him, whilst they were wasting £100 million, £65 million, 70 million euros and all that to get other players, shame unto them. Yeah. This is what you need from a proper winger. Yeah. In English football, Ryan Giggs, direct, quick, pass the ball, shot on target, or cross the ball. Simple. Get into the penalty area, and when you have an opportunity to shoot and score, you score. Yeah. This is what you need from a winger. A direct man who is not interested in the skills and then showboating. No. And I think he's really given Jack Grealish two thoughts. Yeah. Am I supposed to switch to the right side, or I'm supposed to battle this guy on the left side for an opportunity to play? Yeah. And I think he was just phenomenal. Yeah. He was just exceptional. And gradually he's building a confidence that is going to give him some great deal of a time walking into next year, especially after the Christmas break. And if he's able to continue on that tangent, trust you me, we think that Pep's team hasn't been playing at top level, but the sort of performance these guys are given at this level will give us a greater opportunity to see Pep Guardiola's team walk into leaps and loads. Imagine the sort of display this guy is giving. Kevin De Bruyne gets fit, walks into this team next year.
and ask yourself, when they get into the knockout stages of the UEFA Champions League and they run into the league in 2024, what is going to happen? It was an absolutely fantastic performance from him, and I love what he delivered. Hopefully the other wingers would look at it and then they would learn better from what Jeremy Doku offered yesterday. It's just an absolutely solid performance from him. And one thing about this Manchester City team is, one player fails to deliver today, the other player shows up. If Haaland is not given, Julian Alvarez is given. If Julian Alvarez is not given, Phil Foden is given. If Phil Foden is not given, Jeremy Doku steps up. When all their forwards fail to deliver, then there is a certain man from midfield, Rodri, who delivers at the biggest stages for them to give them the needed wins and victories in games. Absolutely phenomenal. This is what you call a team. It's well balanced. Everyone is well shaped and not giving any difficult errors or positions to the manager. Pep was way behind about some 3 points. Now he's at the top. Should Tottenham Hotspur fail to win tomorrow, it means that Manchester City are back on top of the Premier League.
Well, anyway, that's Jeremy Doku there. Now, his celebration wants me to see him score so many times because I really love that celebration.
It's really
106 people on the live stream at the moment, and incredible. Thank you so much for watching on Facebook. Let me read your comments there. Joseph Apia says, honestly speaking, our midfield is weak. We need a ball progressing midfielder who can control our pattern of play. I even think Partey with the Black Stars lacks such a credential. If our midfield, like Stephen Apia to... okay. So he said, if the Black Stars will rise again, we need a talisman in our midfield like Stephen Apia to control the pattern of play for us. Thank you, Joseph Apia. Kwame Kwachi says, Kwame Kwachi has tagged somebody. Okay, all right. Now, Kwame Kwachi again back. He says, bet tax money day for renovation, bro. Yeah. Kwame Kwachi, tax money day for renovation, but we are not seeing it as of now. And also another one says, Kwame Nsiabrobe says, I'm just here for Kelvin Uswansa to know that I'm watching today. And that's from
Kwame Nkasarobe.
That's from Kwame Nkasarobe. Also, Francis Suka says hi to you, Francis. Hi, and thank you for watching. And then also Kodak Taylor says, Ore Kwampofo, I love your hairstyle.
Come on, Dean.
And then James Alfred Hemans also says, my greetings to you, Kelvin Uswansa. So Kelvin has a few fans on the Facebook Live at the moment. But so we've spoken about Arsenal, we've spoken about City.
Give me 1 minute on Arsenal. Just 1 minute.
1 minute,
yes.
Okay, 1 minute. You get 1 minute.
But I think Arsenal should just focus on the root cause. The root cause is the concentration of your players and the urge to fight for the ball should be top. I don't think Kyle Walker, even Wan-Bissaka or Kieran Trippier would allow Joe Willock to go and pick that ball and still be standing and watching him.
Yeah.
As a player, they always say that you play to what? The whistle.
Yeah.
And in the era of VAR, even if you play, you are not playing to the whistle and the goal is scored, the review would mean that the goal can be overturned. If the goal is not scored, it's a plus for you because you've been able to defend your situation.
Yeah.
Ben White was caught ball watching. Jorginho wasn't ready to attack the ball. White wasn't ready to attack the ball. Gabriel wasn't ready to attack the ball. And that nonsense of the speech that goalkeepers are now ball playing part of football makes me angry. What is the core responsibility of a goalkeeper? If you're a goalkeeper and you can pass and you cannot catch that hanging cross from Joe Willock,
Yasin Bono saves that.
Yes, then you have no business. You have no business on the pitch. I hate David De Gea for not being able to come out for balls, but De Gea would not allow that cross to beat him. It was a hanging delivery.
Yeah.
And you see how he flapped his feet. Look at this.
He literally came out and missed it. And
there were a couple of times that he came out and he missed crosses. And it's happened so many times. The reason why Cole Palmer scored, now people understand why I say he doesn't position himself so well when it comes to these deliveries. And Arteta has caused this doom. One friend will say, Sledge Bonner, greetings to you. He would always say that Raya is only imposed because Arteta is Spanish. Inaki Kana Pavon, who is the goalkeeper's trainer, is also Spanish, and Ramsdale is English. Sincerely, there's no difference between Raya and then Ramsdale at Arsenal, all because of the recent 3 games that I've seen Raya make so many elementary mistakes.
Thank you so much, Kelvin. Now, this show is brought to you by Betway. Betway says every Tuesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays will never be the same with Betway. Get cash rewards, free bets, free spins, and more with deposits on Top Up Tuesday. Now, log in also on Fridays for a chance to win free bets, free spins, and more. And every Saturday, get boosted odds across the most popular bet types on the weekend's biggest fixture. Only on betway.com.gh. Terms and conditions apply. And the regulator by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Not for persons under 18. Betway, get way more.
Tuesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays will never be the same with Betway. Get cash rewards, free bets, free spins, and more with deposits on Top Up Tuesdays. Log in on Fridays for a chance to get free bets, free spins, and more. And every Saturday, get boosted odds across the most popular bet types on the weekend's big fixture. Get way more at betway.com.gh. Regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. No under 18. Terms and conditions apply. Betway. Get way more.
So this show is brought to you by Betway. Thank you so much, Betway, for sponsoring us every week to bring you Sports Ultras. Now, Oreku, let me come to you. You've been quiet all through this Premier League conversation, but I'm just going to come to you on Mohamed Kudus. Now, Kudus has, yesterday the statistics says that he's the second highest scorer at West Ham at the moment, playing fewer games than Jared Bowen. Yeah. Now, there's this conundrum about whether Kudus starts or not, and is he playing, is he not playing, whatever. Has Kudus made a good has he made a good case for himself to start games at West Ham?
I don't even think he did. I didn't think he needed to even make a case, because the whole idea of buying him was to come into the team immediately, because no one would. For a team like West Ham to spend close to 40 million, which is their second highest signing in history, there was no way they were buying him just to come and complement a team from the bench. I think it was more of the timing of the move. He came right at the end of the transfer window. He didn't have a preseason with the team. Young player coming into a new country. So many different factors that David Moyes kept on explaining, but people weren't listening. And the thing is that you always want to make sure that, as I said, the mental aspect of football is the most important thing.
Yeah.
Kudus, great player, everyone knows that. But if Moyes starts him in the Premier League in any of these games, and he's now settling and struggles in his first 2-3 games, all of a sudden there are talks of 007, him not giving a goal or assist, and now he gets into his head as a bastard. I think it's happened to a number of players. Look, Anthony, Mudryk, all of these guys were good players, but because they came with so much pressure, so much expectation, and they hit the ground running with regards to start, and they weren't matching, their performances weren't matching the expectations, it automatically starts to reflect in terms of the pressure on the players. And so I think Moyes absorbed a lot of the pressure, because now it wasn't talked about if Kudus is doing well or not. It's Moyes, why are you not playing him? Why are you not playing him? Why are you not? Even if Moyes plays Kudus now, they'll say, he's not doing well because Moyes didn't play him. So I think he sort of took the blow. So regardless of what would have happened, Moyes would be blamed for it. And the good thing is that with that pressure gone now, he's eased into the team. He's got to know his teammates a lot more. And what made me realize that was that I think in his first goal against TSC in the Europa League, after the game, he mentioned that when he scored that goal, something that he had been discussing with Said Benrahma, that whenever Benrahma cuts in, he makes a run from the right wing for the inside for the cross. And yesterday, the goal that Bowen scored, it was very similar to Kudus connecting from that Benrahma cross again. He cut in, but this time his effort came out the bar, and luckily Bowen put it in. So I think he's getting to understand his teammates a bit more. He's getting into good scoring positions now. And the thing about Mohamed Kudus is that he has this affinity for goals. You don't know where it comes from, but he finds a way to almost score. And now he's had a very good start. He scored 5 goals in all competitions. He's just started 7 games, and as you said, he's the second highest scorer in the team, just behind Bowen. And so now he's settled. And I don't even think there will be any talks of whether he starts or not, because he started the past 4 games. I think people are just not realizing it because they just want to keep complaining. But someone has started 4 games in less than 12 days, and there's still talks about that. And you go on that comment, that's how you should start him. That's how you should start him. But the guy's been starting the past 4 games. You see, that's the truth. I think that Moyes has really handled the war. My only concern is that, as I said, West Ham is a good move for him. The way he plays, and he has that self-centeredness around him that attackers need to get goals.
Yeah.
And it's probably more than the average, but that's how he keeps scoring. And it's a good place for him individually. But as a team, how far can West Ham take him? Because yesterday I deliberately watched the highlights after the game just to see his reaction whenever they conceded. And he wasn't too happy. Like, you could see him swinging his arm in the air because the goals were so avoidable. The corner kick leading to the equalizer.
Mavropanos goal.
Even before that, again, it was just a ball down the channel. Play it into the throw. He miscontrols it and it's a corner. From the corner, they cross it. Mavropanos scores an own goal. And you could see like he's very frustrated because how can you score a bicycle? Now
this is such a great goal.
You scored a bicycle kick and the social media manager must be fuming by now because imagine West Ham won. You will have like 1 million views with this.
Exactly.
I'm sure he had like so many content, but now your team has lost. You can't go and post it. It's almost like you're mocking them. And what annoys me so much is that it takes the relevance of the goal because potentially this could have been the goal of the month for November, which means that automatically qualifies him for goal of the season. But now that they've lost, I feel by the time November ends, everyone will forget about the goal. Unless there's a campaign,
we'll be there. We'll be there.
But that's the same way we saw Jordan Ayew dribble past players, chip keeper 92nd minute, and still they win goal of the month. I mean, Ghanaians that we suffered.
Yeah, we suffered.
But Charlie,
Jordan, so he knows how to deliver balls into the box like that.
Yeah.
Did you see that assist though? Like the 10 to get away from the defender. This it's funny how when it comes to blast, right? I don't understand though. Like everybody looks like a decent player at the club.
We have 5 more minutes to wrap up the show, but this show is brought to you by Betway. Tuesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays will never be the same with Betway. Get cash rewards, free bets, free spins, and more with deposits on Top Up Tuesday. Log in on Fridays for a chance to win free bets, free spins, and more. And every Saturday, get boosted odds across the most popular bet channels and the weekend's biggest fixture. Only on betway.com.gh. Terms and conditions apply. Regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Not for persons under 18. Betway gets way more. That's Betway. Thank you to them. But Kelvin, before we go, let's talk about the Ghana Premier League. And briefly, Kotoko losing today to Dreams. Bofakwa winning against Nations. Brekum Chelsea winning 1-0 to Samatex. Legon City's losing to Mediama getting an away victory. And then Adriana Stars also getting an away victory at Lions. And Real Tamale United drawing 0-0 with Bechem United. BBNE Gold Stars drawing 1-1 with Accra Lions. And Karela drawing 1-1 with Hearts of Oak.
Well, very impressive to see the away wins coming in. And I think it's very good. Hearts of Oak were so unfortunate. That was a late penalty that should have been given right in front of the referee, and I don't even understand why he was justifying to the assistant referee why he did not take that penalty. But I think that there's been some progression in there. And for Hamza Issa, the coach said he did not have a striker, but this is a guy who has scored 4 goals in the last 3 games for the Phobians. And it's clearly given an indication that, yes, he is one of the players to look up to. He gives those vibes of a young Bene Champon. He knows how to position himself very quick, and he knows when to jump and leap for the ball. That was a very good leap for an equalizer. But Evans Adumakuredu, he started the season on a very good note. If you have these penalty kicks with 3 minutes to end the game and you keep missing them, I don't think you'll be doing a club any good. And Karela have just drawn, if you take Heart of Lions out, I think that the class with the most draws this season. Very good result for Mediama SC, and I think Pakwesi Feben might be fuming at Lagos City.
So if you're watching our Facebook Live, that's the Hearts of Oak penalty shout that was not given.
I think it was a clear penalty.
And I mean,
it was too clear.
Do you know what I do not understand about this? The referee was just five yards away from the
He was literally there.
Why are you going to ask your linesman?
Yeah, he was literally
your linesman
there.
was at least 10 times further than you were, and even he was telling you that he hit the hand, and you were saying that what you saw, his hands were by his body.
And that's a lie, because his hands were not even by his body.
And you could see the reaction of the
Yeah.
The linesman looks confused.
Yes, the linesman wanted to give it.
No, because his hands were not even.
A good tweet can help us. Let's just go back to
Let's
go back
to
the
incident. Go back to the incident.
It just tells us the mind. The mind. Look at where the referee is.
His hands were not behind him. His hands were right there.
It's a penalty for her.
I mean, it's
look at this. Clear. That's a penalty. And I'll stretch arm. So disappointed, but our referee should do better. I think they are learning from our colonial masters.
Howard Webb, come and apologize. Come and apologize for this. We can't take it.
But we thank Kotoko too. You're also losing.
Yeah, so
Kotoko,
I think yes, Brecum Chelsea also very good victory as well.
Yeah,
After beating Dreams FC, they went away to win. But for Akwa, as always, resilient at home, getting their victory. RTU goalless against Bichim. I think this is a good result for your friend Bismarck Komensa.
The great Kobe.
Yes, Komensa. Heart of Lions at the Hohoi Stadium. You're supposed to give these people some joy. But Adriana FC, very strong on the road, went all there to win. Accra Lions, good point away from Gold Stars. And you have to say, what is happening to Gold Stars? They've lost a couple of points in there. Heart of Folk went there. They managed to snatch a point. Yes, Accra Lions too. I've gone there to snatch a point. I think this is good for James Francis and the Accra Lions team. Will give them some confidence going into the next couple of years. And for Asante Kotoko, I don't know what is going to happen. Ogum literally had the opportunity to bring or buy his own players. If you don't have grade A, you have
Thank
grade
you,
B.
Abdul Aziz Issa.
So that's it. That's it right there. That's the goal right there.
Aziz
Fantastic goal.
It's a
And this is
really, really
and I think
good
Bill
goal.
has a lot more on this guy.
Yes,
We
Aziz
featured him
Issa.
JPL Express.
Yeah.
And that story is good. We are bringing it back this Wednesday.
Yes.
We are bringing it back.
Yeah.
We need to
It's
put
a
the limelight
it's
on
a
him.
really, really good goal.
Top
Really
guy.
good goal.
Abdul Aziz
And
Issa.
for Dreams to be beating Kotoko in Kumasi, it should just tell you where Dreams are at the moment. And also a lot of confidence will go into the Confederations Cup.
Exactly. And I think it's good for them.
That's really,
Experience
really good.
John Entry there together with the captain, and look at that delivery. Look at that delivery.
There were like 2 touches after the free kick.
Yes.
And still
And
no
then the
Kotoko
wall-
player was
Yes,
there.
the wall
The wall
was
didn't
static.
move. They didn't move.
Look at that.
Kweku, can
Let's just go
you
back
just
to
take
the
us
goal.
back? Take us back a bit. Yeah.
Right.
That's it there. So if you're watching us on Facebook, the Dreams goal is on your
Look at this.
screen at the
1,
moment.
2. It takes about 3 seconds to come and
The wall
shoot.
was still there.
They were there. Look,
And you-
look. This gives you a clearer view. We were all just standing
No one
there.
reacts.
Look at the reaction from them. Is this-
Yeah, the reaction was
too slow.
The reaction
The
was
ref-
really,
the
really
referees,
slow.
the referees are learning from the colonial masters. The players are learning from the colonial masters.
But that's
this was Ben White.
But that's a goal of really high quality.
Yes,
Really, really
yes.
excellent. And Abdulaziz
And to
Issa,
that top corner there, I think the
Congratulations.
execution was just perfect. The
Congratulations
skill that
to
he
him.
has.
I want to blame Danlad, but I won't blame him. I want to blame Danlad,
Yeah, I saw
but I won't blame him.
someone trying
I
to
don't
blame
think.
him.
Wait, can I see that? Can I see the goal again? let me focus on him this time. the jury is out. Kweku tweet if you can take it back for me.
Yeah, let's go back to the
Aha.
free kick. So that's the wall.
Wait.
But wait, the
I need to
lad,
see-
the lad,
is
the
that
lad. was-
is that another angle? I
Yeah.
want to see his feet.
This angle.
How he moves his feet. There's something telling me he dives anyway.
But how did he go stand behind the wall?
No,
Wait,
he
that
should be-
means he's standing
on the
behind the
outside.
wall. Yeah.
No, how can you stand behind the wall?
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't want to.
Kotoko concede goal as Dalad did. You just know that.
Yeah,
Danlad, he didn't try.
The technique was brilliant, but the goalkeeper too was poor.
the goalkeeper should have
You
done
don't,
something
you don't,
about
you
it.
don't put up a human one and then go and hide behind it.
Well, anyway, I mean, we've just come to the end of the show.
I want to send a message.
Kelvin, send a message.
Yeah, Adwa Loud. Anywhere you are and you are listening to us, Adwa Loud. Myself and Yao Fosula, we will be coming to you.
Yeah.
We'll be coming to your shop. We are coming to shop for you.
Thank you.
Yes, you've invited us.
Thank
and this
you.
is a very good. Yes,
Thank
we'll
you.
bring all our friends, our brothers,
thank you very
Ureku,
much.
Bill,
Ureku,
Koku
yeah.
Tweet,
Thank you.
everybody on this desk.
Thank
we are
you so
coming.
much.
Thank you so much, Adwa.
So, Kelvin, thank you so much for another exciting edition. Ureku, thank you. Thank you to Bill, producer Prosper Kuzo. Thank you so much. And also to Kweku Tweet, the great social media handler. Kweku Tweets, the girls prefect of the company. Kweku Tweets. Thank you so much, Kweku Tweet, for giving us the visuals also on Facebook. If you join us on Facebook, thank you so much. And we are always inspired to do more because of you guys. And it's another edition of Sports Ultras right here on 3FM 92.7. Just keep your dial right here. And at 8 p.m., please, switch your dial on TV to TV3 and watch Mentor. The new season is going on and is really, really exciting. So we'll see you again next week with another exciting edition of the show. Always stay safe.